Either I haven't done yet what you claim I did, or you're making this up to mess with my head.
And you get to guess which one. Isn't this fun?
Not remotely.
Aw, you used to have a sense of humor.
Dying tends to get you serious in a hurry.
Then you're about to get deadly serious.
Something tells me that, regardless of the gravitas of this particular moment, Peter's still going to find a way to crack a few jokes. But, while Spider-Man is getting the tar kicked out of him, we can see there are images of his other foes spread across the room. There is Kraven, there is Mysterio, there is Sandman, and I believe the Juggernaut.
It ends here, Felicia.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
This actually raises a lot of questions. This is Alchemax. Why would Alchemax need images and data on some of Spider-Man's greatest foes? I mean, it's unlikely, given what we know about Sloan's personality, that he would go through the trouble of collecting this much information about Spider-Man. He underestimated Spider-Man incredibly. I mean, there are even giant spiders painted right under the images.
Felicia, I'm so sorry.
Aw, he's so sorry. Help me, Spider, poor me! You actually fell for that. What'd we ever see in him?
Felicia, this creature isn't you!
You don't get to lecture us on who we are, Spider. Not anymore.
Okay, Peter, I'm almost to the gateway. The energy is limited, so we'll have to jump through at the same time.
Don't worry, I'll be there.
So as we're fighting these clones of Black Cat, we also have to wonder whether they are just clones or if Felicia's consciousness is spread across them. Because they seem to be speaking as a collective. I'm going to avoid calling any of them the real Felicia because it's clear that the real Felicia is long gone. I imagine it is somewhat traumatizing for Peter to see Felicia in this state, to see someone that he used to recognize but just can't anymore. So, Alchemax did this to her. But who at Alchemax? I have a hard time believing it was Sloan. Sloan seems too self-centered to be concerned with stuff like an anti-aging drug. He was working on time travel. But who at Alchemax in the first place would know who Felicia was and want to remake her with the anti-aging drug in the first place?
I'm en route to the gateway room. Tell me when you're there as well. We have to time this right.
You got it, Miguel.
Oh, how nice. You and your counterpart are on a first-name basis now. It's good to know you've bonded.
Who are you?
I'm the CEO of Alchemax. The real question is, who are you, old friend?
Old friend? So this is where you make the big reveal, and I say, holy cow, Norman Osborn, or the Kingpin, Jonah Jameson. Come on, please be Jameson.
All of them long dead, I fear. Too bad they didn't have access to the anti-aging drug we developed. It does wonders for you. And I do mean you.
No, it can't be.
Can't be, yes. Why do people always say that? Good thing your future counterpart saved us, eh? Otherwise, we couldn't be this.
I become the evil mastermind?
Oh, don't be melodramatic. With great power comes great responsibility and great opportunity. And the only way to live up to all that responsibility is to use every opportunity to get all the power. I learned that the day I lost everyone I loved and didn't have the power to stop it.
What do you mean, everyone?
You'll find out. Except once I've fixed reality, you actually won't find out. Consider yourself lucky.
Peter, it's up and running, but it's not tremendously stable. Where are you?
I think I'm in hell. The CEO, it's me.
What? That's insane. How can that be? Holy shock! Peter, now! Move!
Let me explain it all to you.
Explain it to my rapidly retreating backside.
Peter, get a move on!
I'm going as fast as I can. I can't let me end up this way.
This is no time for a soliloquy, Peter. I'm barely holding the gateway together.
I'm barely holding myself together.
Access granted, Mr. Parker.
So as we find ourselves in this room, clearly the CEO's collection of his old Spider-Man suits, it seems like a good time to point out that Peter is wearing the Future Foundation suit from when he joined the Fantastic Four.
Oh, what now? This is weird. I
can't let this happen. I have to get home and do something about it.
I feel pretty bad for Peter right now. I mean, comparatively, what does Miguel got going on? Pretty much nothing. This is all Peter's torment right here. It's been said, not just in Spider-Man, but everywhere, that people who lose something dear to them seek power to stop themselves from losing anything else. And the CEO did just say he lost everything he loved. It's possible that he used the entire time travel nonsense with Sloane to gain control of Alchemax. But we still have no idea what this horrible thing is that caused Peter and his loved ones' destruction.
Sometimes quantum causality is not my friend.
I told you, the gateway's getting increasingly unstable. You're dealing with pure chaos.
Kinda like my love life.
As soon as we destroy the gateway, it'll go back to normal.
Awesome.
Peter always seems to find some way to crack a joke no matter what is going on, and there is a lot going on right now. Especially in his head, I imagine. You've got to hand it to Spidey for having the resolve to keep going. I mean, he did have a breakdown not too long ago, Mary Jane was in danger, and now all this nonsense. It's not like he can see a therapist about this, he is Spider-Man. Wait, I'm not quite sure about that. I do believe there was a comic where Spider-Man went to see a therapist as Spider-Man. I seem to recall that. It also seems fair to question right now whether Peter is going to be able to stop the CEO once he finds out what the CEO is fighting for. I mean, technically Peter has already become the CEO once. What's to stop him from becoming the CEO again when he finds out what disaster is going to happen? If you look at it from Peter's perspective, the idea of just erasing all of this that's happened so far probably doesn't seem so bad. I mean, Peter always tries his best to do what's right, but on multiple occasions that has not been an easy thing to decide. And it's been stressed multiple times that Peter has a very hard time looking at the big picture. He's sure trying his best right now, but I'm not sure how well that's going to hold up in the end. It probably doesn't help that Miguel, Spidey's only ally in this, is not being terribly sympathetic. I mean, he's not being intentionally apathetic, but again, he's concerned with the big picture, and not with Spider-Man's internal pain right now. Neither of them are really wrong, but if this continues, it's eventually going to pull them apart, so hopefully they figure a way to sort this out that does not involve fisticuffs. Or the destruction of space-time. Either one.
Is this what you're looking for?
You know it is.
Well, then come and get it.
Peter, are you on your way?
Yeah, slight setback.
What kind?
My ex wants to play cat and mouse.
This is serious.
Well, it wasn't my idea.
Just do what you have to do and get to the gateway.
Oh, now where'd she go?
You're getting warmer, Spider. Come find me. You know I'm gonna make you work for it.
So now that we've come face to face with Black Cat again, we have time to ponder some things, like the CEO's relationship with her. I mean, the CEO is Peter, even if he's not the original Peter. It's possible that the CEO was the one who gave her the anti-aging drug, possibly to protect her, but maybe the intentions got lost as time went on. It seems that the CEO and Felicia both lost themselves somewhere, possibly more so Felicia, as she seems utterly obsessed with toying with Spidey. I mean, thank God Mary Jane did not run into Felicia while she was in Alchemax, because I cannot imagine how badly that would have gone. And while I'm getting my ass kicked again, it seems like a good time to mention how Black Cat works. You basically have to find a specific time to attack during an opening, because if you try to attack any other time, her attacks cancel out yours. It's also best to use Hypersense right as she attacks, otherwise you'll end up in the middle of a big combo. And the longer you fight her, the shorter the windows of opportunities get. I really enjoy this fight because it forces you to use Spider-Man's agility to your advantage.
We're sorry for you. Not that sorry.
You know, it's a little funny to realize that Miguel is probably just sitting waiting at the portal tapping his foot while all of this is going on. I mean, Miguel doesn't know shit about Felicia. He has very minimal context for this. Peter's kept most of it to himself. That might say a whole lot about Peter's relationship with her.
You always did, Felicia.
Don't think I'm done with you. I'm planning a new date together so we can have lots more fun.
Oh, it's just what we needed. More quality time.
So as we fight Felicia this last time, she is incredibly aggressive. It is very hard to find any opening with which to attack her. Peter and Felicia have fought plenty of times before, but it's never escalated to something this bad. I mean, it's pretty clear that this brawl between them is not going to end in a positive outcome. At least Miguel is not phoning in to bother us about the time gateway, because that would be the worst possible thing at this particular moment. This may not end terribly well for the CEO either, depending on his attachment to Felicia. And unless he has an absolutely ridiculous memory, it's safe to assume that he's been watching us sometimes, so he might be able to see what's going on right here, and I have to wonder what he's thinking about it. And Felicia is beginning to glow red, which is never a terribly good sign. All things considered, this fight might actually be worse for her than it is for Spidey. It is hard to empathize with her directly right now, but what is going on in her head cannot be a picnic.
It was like old times, wasn't it, Peter? And I know it wasn't my old times. Not really. But it was as close as I was ever going to get. Be honest. Was I...
Yeah.
Good?
You were great. Better than the original.
Great. Back to the sewers again. These tentacles are getting on my last nerve.
Let's try to bring up the mood a little bit with this new use for the hypersense mechanic. I believe this is the first time you actually have to use it while you're staying perched on a post of some sort. This also serves as a reminder that, even after everything we've been through, we're still not nearly done. We still don't know where these tentacles are coming from, and we have to deal with them, whether Peter feels like it or not. We also have no plan of action for how to deal with the CEO. Hopefully Miguel thought of something while he was just standing there. From how calculating the CEO seemed to be during that cutscene, it might be that he already knows how this tentacle mess turns out and is not too concerned with it himself.
These freaking tentacles are getting worse. Probably has to do with that whole pure chaos thing.
Oh, that's right, time is falling apart around us too. We've not made much of a dent in our problems at all. At the very least, unless some other horrible disaster wants to get in the way, Peter will be returning to his own time soon. I suppose it's not fair to say that Miguel has had it super easy. I mean, he did have to rescue Mary Jane not too long ago. Still, I'm sure Peter would have much rather been in his position during all of this.
Ready? Good to go. 1, 2, 3. Peter, did you make it through?
Yeah, but something came through with me.
Oh my God. What's wrong?
Those tentacles! They were coming from some kind of... I don't know what this atrocity is. In fact, that's what I'm gonna call it. Atrocity. Because big scary tentacle monster thingy takes way too long to say. Oh, that and Fing Fang Foom's taken.
Peter, again, focus. The quantum bridge is building on itself, like a hurricane. It's a massive time storm, and if we can't get it under control, it's gonna wipe out everything.
You know how to solve this, right? The time storm and this atrocity that followed me out?
This is a little out of my field, okay? The Parascience boys would be better. Hey, that's it. The Parascience Research Lab. Best bet for all the answers. I'll go there. The time storm's starting to tear everything apart!
Ditto here! Not to mention I'm playing tag with this crazy octo-monster.
I don't believe it. A transitional Einstein-Rosen bridge.
You mean a wormhole?
Yeah, crazy as it sounds, I can use it to get to the Parascience Research Lab faster.